Hopefully, you have now had an opportunity to read the Technovation paper in depth and have carefully considered the questions that I set you. In this solution podcast, I'm going to summarise the key points from the paper and then provide some feedback on the specific questions about Richard Marsh and Tritech. You should now be familiar with the three components of the model: the entrepreneur, knowledge and experience of the firm, and the technology it uses to exploit the opportunity. The environment is a pivotal influence on everything that happens within the firm, and it is the interaction of the environment with the people components of the model and technology that shapes the opportunity and the solution you provide to your customers. There is also the possibility that the firm itself can shape the environment. The big technology firms can engineer societal paradigm shifts that change and shape the world we live in. The Amazons, Apples, and Facebooks are all examples of this, as was the BlackBerry of the past, which reshaped business communication. But the world is changing faster than ever before, and every firm has to be ever vigilant if they are to avoid what happened to BlackBerry. From dominance to bargain basement sale in just 6 years. So let's look at each of the components of the model in more detail. First, let's consider the entrepreneur. They bring the motivation to start the venture and sustain it through the often difficult early years. If you want to become a technology entrepreneur, it is essential that you are truly motivated. Other people's livelihoods will be dependent upon you, so you absolutely need to be the inspiring, driving force in the venture. As a result of this, entrepreneurs have high levels of alertness. Their motivation to succeed drives them to find every possible opportunity for the new business. I'm on the alert 24/7 for opportunities and solutions for Disruptech. It is almost obsessive. With 2020 hindsight, I realise I have been like this for my entire life, so this isn't a skill I needed to learn. It has always been there. I just get bored very quickly. This creates interactions, building the professional and personal networks, using every conversation as a potential vehicle to build and test opportunities. This interaction builds experience and shapes the entrepreneur's ability to make solid business decisions. I strongly suggest you explore some of the literature on cognitive biases. You learn to manage risk and be comfortable with it. Effect infusion, attributional style, the planning fallacy, and self-justification are cognitive techniques that entrepreneurs can learn to identify and assess business opportunities, just like you will do in the feasibility analysis at the end of this part of the program. In a technology firm, knowledge and experience fall into two categories: commercial knowledge, sales, marketing, HR and finance. These are the basic nuts and bolts of running the business on a daily basis. Technical knowledge is used to construct the product solution to customer opportunities or problems. This can be knowledge of materials, processes to convert them or refine them into products. Natural sciences are often the source of the fundamental science that makes products possible. Literature, both within and external to the company, is so important. You're only as good as your ability to keep up with the external science. Patents are a huge source of information. In P&G, we continually scoured the patent activity to see what fields of science were being transformed into proprietary solutions for customers. You can learn a huge amount about technology and other firms' technology strategies by simply reading their patents. You also need to understand changes in the regulatory framework that you operate within and their impact on material availability, and emerging restrictions on their use. Regulations can be a huge source of opportunity. Every regulation is a barrier to someone. They need a solution that they will pay you to provide. The technology that you develop with that knowledge and experience can provide a competitive advantage in 4 main ways. New fields of science make what was previously impossible possible. When markets are differentiating, technology can be used to tailor the product to suit the needs of specific market segments. When the patent space is unoccupied, you can file first and secure the groundbreaking platform patents that can fence off an entire market by limiting other people's ability to use the technology solution. You may find problems you didn't expect. If the problem is new, by definition, the solution will be too. This is one of the most fruitful sources of innovation, and seeking out customer problems is a superb way to do it. And this leads very nicely into the Tritech case. It is the intersection of all 3 components of this model that leads to the product innovation that satisfies those unmet consumer needs or provides solutions to their problems. The output of Tritech is continuous product innovation. That is the company's true competitive edge, constantly developing novel solutions to customer problems and never staying still, looking for opportunities in different markets and being able to develop the solutions. That is what Richard Marsh engineered and was able to sell as a sustainable engine of profitable innovation. An 85% success rate for new product innovation is unheard of. P&G needed to implement Robert Cooper's stage gate process to get from 10% to 50%, and that is still way behind Tritech. Marsh was even able to re-engineer what he brought into the venture itself. It is an organisation that is comfortable with risk. They love doing the impossible. Reducing the size of a sonar to the size of a beer can is a challenge most companies would run a mile from. Marsh was also driven by financial success, so he had to create a growing company to achieve it. He was probably never satisfied and was always looking for growth. Tritech have a unique way of continually building knowledge and experience. They are focused on identifying new markets and constantly listening to their current customers whilst looking for completely new ones. They make it mandatory for their technical people to learn commercial skills, and this, I feel, is something we should all emulate. Technical and commercial teams often become totally disconnected. In Marsh's structure, this simply doesn't happen. It truly is a learning organisation, and that is what you should try to emulate in your venture. It forces you to create new technical and commercial capability. The fact that Tritech outsource technology development is a huge advantage. The whole world is their laboratory, and this is a model that all the corporates like P&G are currently trying to emulate. The problem they face is changing their knowledge, experience and culture to move from internal research to external research. P&G has gone from 10% outsourcing to 50%, and they want more. In a new firm, you can do this much more easily because you are creating the culture from scratch. There really is much you can learn and reapply from Tritech. I suggest you now take some time to reflect and digest. Think about what you have learned and start to develop some real tangible strategies for the opportunity that you decide to exploit and the organisation that you need to build to deliver it.